Okay, well, this is my office. I have to say I shall miss it.
His final day. The Bank of England's longest-serving senior policymaker is about to leave the building. After 14 years here in Threadneedle Street, Charlie Bean is retiring as Deputy Governor. Now, in his final interview, the man who was central to the bank's response to the financial crisis has admitted one or two regrets.
The big thing, of course, and it's not particularly a bank thing, it's a comment on the economics profession, the policy-making profession, is that we weren't sufficiently cognizant of the risks that were building up in the financial system. So that's my biggest regret, that I wasn't more conscious of that. And I think collectively the profession needed to be more conscious of that. Now, that's not to say that we could have avoided everything that happened, but we might have been able to reduce its impact.
He also said markets were right to expect interest rates to go up at the turn of the year. And in the long term, they could head back to higher levels still.
Let's say that over the next 5 years, the normal is more like 2.5%, 3%.
I think that's sort of reasonable numbers.
Right, but then after that, there's nothing to stop it going back to 5% being the normal, say 10 years from now.
That may well be so. I mean, I wouldn't want to say it'll be back there in 10 years, but I think it's plausible over the sort of very long run, if you want to call it that these headwinds will abate. I think it might well be reasonable to think in that very long term you would go back to 5%, but it's probably quite a long way down the road.
There's a real sense of an end of an era as Charlie Bean retires. Not only is he the last of the senior management team at the bank to be replaced, in fact, he's the only member of the Monetary Policy Committee who's actually had experience of changing interest rates. Once he goes, none of the rest of them will have done that before, which is why his comments about rates, about quantitative easing, about monetary policy in general are looked on so intently. But rate hikes are no longer this man's concern. His leaving gift? A globe marked with all the places he's been sent on bank duty. His next stop? A long holiday, preferably somewhere more relaxing. Ed Conway, Sky News.